Okay, here we go. Let's talk about how to hear the voice of love within you, the voice of God, the voice of the Creator. Now, let's start really quickly with number one. First, realize God's voice is always available to you, and there with you as loud as it needs to be, right? As loud as it needs to be. Your job is to develop the ears to hear. So I realized that I was constantly asking for the voice to be louder, but it's actually about our capacity to hear the voice that is already there, because we have so many blocks and so many issues in the way, and your job is just to accept. It's a physical thing. Accept the fact that you have these flaws, you have these issues that's stopping you from connecting with love, from getting out of limitation, from wanting to get out of limitation. And so our job is to accept these parts of us, knowing that they're temporary, giving them to the Creator, and asking for the voice to be, I was going to say asking for the voice to be increased, but asking for your capacity to hear the voice to be increased. Okay, so let's go. Number two. Okay, you must submit to God's will. This sounds limiting and unfair. It's like people go, how horrible it is that you have to obey God. But it's not about obeying like a child or like a prisoner or anything like that. In fact, it's the exact opposite, because it's not going to force you to do anything. You have free will. You can choose, right? So you're either following God's will or the spirit of fear, what some people call the devil. So you either be obedient to the spirit of love, which brings expansion, which brings life, which brings goodness, even if there may be tough times in between, it still ultimately brings what's best for you. Or you can be a slave to the spirit of fear, which ultimately causes destruction. Everything from the spirit of fear crumbles. Everything from the spirit of fear is designed to burn itself out, so evil cannot ultimately take over. Even when there are appearances that it is taking over, it will burn itself out, it will crumble, and it will eventually one day show itself that it does not work. And what we keep trying to do from a place of limitation, of lack, of self-will, of pride, and all these sorts of things will be shown not to work. And then we have to find the new way, which is reaching for the light. Okay, number three. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. You pray to hear the voice. Admit your fears. This part's really important. Now, one, obviously God, the divine, the Creator, knows what you're already thinking. But two, it's your job to laser focus on what is ready to be healed, on what is ready to be changed, because we have billions, if not trillions of bits of information, like as parts of our personality, and things that we could work on and change and focus on. And so, because of our free will, we have to decide which parts we want to be purified, which parts we're ready to work with. Yeah, does this make sense? Okay, so you pray to hear the voice. You might say God, Creator, Infinite Spirit, Higher Self, whichever word you like, it doesn't matter. I ask to hear your voice. I find it, and then you feel the fear come up, the doubt. You don't gloss over it. You say it, and don't be scared of it. You simply say something like, whatever you're really thinking and feeling, I admit I have this fear of not being able to hear your voice, and honestly, sometimes I don't want to. I know, I'm pretty sure, like, sometimes I hear your voice, and I just go against it. Please forgive me, which obviously that's a given that you're forgiven, but you asking for it helps you forgive yourself with the divine energy. Please forgive me in the name of Christ, or if you prefer, in the name of love, in the name of the highest loving spirit. Help me persevere, help me forgive, increase my capacity to find the truth. And you actually reach inside yourself as you say this, and feel deep within yourself, because God is at the core of your being, as well as at the core of every atom of your being. Let's take a breath. I hope you're breathing with me. It feels really good. Okay, you ready for number 4? Boop. 4. Don't need the answers to come straight away. You know, we're also impatient, like, I don't know, what is it, think. It does not work like that. It does not and will not ever work like that. You've got to get very good at living in the unknown. So let me finish reading number 4. Don't need the answers to come in a particular way, because that's not up to you, okay? Practice being in the unknown, knowing that it's not up to you to control when it comes. Give thanks for what you have around you now. And keep asking when you remember. Now, you can ask a lot, but you don't want to ask like incessantly in a desperate way, really. Although if you do, that's part of it. That's part of what you can pray through as well. But it's really about asking somewhat frequently, but also leaving the trust in there. So if you're asking, I want to know the voice of God, or I want to know the answer to this, or I want to, be in touch with my higher self more and more, what would it take? Empty head. Don't need the answer to come. Know that the question unlocks the universe, the heart, the mind of the divine. It unlocks your conscious mind so that you can actually be more intelligent and hear. But if you're trying to immediately think of the answer, then you're just thinking from your old programs and patterns, right? So let me know what you think about that in the comments. Is this resonating for you? So listen for the small yet deep voice within you, not from your head. Okay, it's going to be something, for me, it's deep down in my solar plexus. And again, you may have to do energy work. I didn't say that yet, but you have to pray and do energy work, which means facing your emotions and sitting with them, creating a relationship with them, speaking with them, and learning how to shift them. That's one of the things I teach. I work with my private clients on pretty much dealing with any block in the way of their success, even physical health, healing chronic pain, chronic illness, saving people from having to have operations, even things like money, visibility, like creating a nourishing life and relationships and boundaries and releasing mental health, all these sorts of things. Like, I'm still so far refusing to properly niche down because it's all connected. It comes under the umbrella of spiritual connection, of mastering your emotions, becoming mentally and emotionally healthy. Okay, so when you realize that you're going to have blocks in the way of you hearing this voice, and that's natural, that's normal, how it is, you can start then asking for it to be revealed, like we said, and start finding the tight knots in your body. Tight knots, tight knots, right? And I can feel one right now around where I feel the voice of God. Yeah, I've really been tuning into it a lot lately. And so now it's like tuning into the tight knot, which is the resistance of your ego. And your ego, you're meant to have an ego, right? It's not, don't kill the ego. You integrate the ego, which is a whole thing in itself. And it's probably a whole video. So if you want me to do a video on that as well, let me know in the comments. Okay, so, Five. An exercise you can do is to meditate in a very specific way. And again, I'm thinking I'll do a video on that, so let me know if that's the video that you want me to do next. Which one calls out to you? Now, in this meditation, you send love to everything you feel and notice, one thing at a time. This melts your ego resistance so it's integrated into your greater self, and love becomes clearer. And love is an intelligence. Love is the voice of God, the divine, the creator, your highest self, which is the part of you that's most connected to the God voice. And by connected, you're always connected. And it is it, but it's just different layers and fractured realities that come out into like even our outer egos and lower self. Still uses the divine power to create. Yeah? So with this exercise, as I said, if you want me to do an actual video on it, I'll do a guided one. But when you go into meditation, the first thing you hear, you send love to it. Now that could be, like, you could say, I love you. Or you could imagine a warm light going towards it. Or you could imagine just an energy of compassion, or all three of them. Or you could imagine the words written up in the air, depending upon how you think. Or you could imagine hugging them. Any of it. You can practice and try around with it. And everything you hear, you say, I love you too. But not even just that. If you're doing that and then you hear a car outside and it annoys you, then maybe to the car sound, you say, I love you, or send the I love you thought. And then to the annoying is I love you. And you just keep switching between whatever's there. And this will help the voice of love become stronger. So I'm Clifford, your spiritual guide and energy alchemist. If this has helped you and you want to get deeper into emotional mastery and connection with spiritual and a powerful manifestor, give me a subscribe, sign up to my email list, and let me know in the comments what your highlight has been from this video. Mwah.